In Linux console, how to not wrap output. In a Linux terminal, sometimes it is less important to see line endings, but more important not to clutter the line startings. E.g., rather than. Is there a way to cut or hide line ending at the end of the terminal's window, in the same manner as LSS does, but for kind of normal output?
Line wrap disabling support is terminal dependent. For example, if using screen, you can hit Ctrl+A Ctrl+R to toggle line wrap. Otherwise, you might try set term line wrap off with or without increasing the number of terminal columns with STTY. Haven't tried this. Terminal emulators like PuTTY, if you connect to the server from a Windows box, have their own settings. If the terminal supports VT escape codes, ~X1B?7L will disable screen wrap, ~X1B?7H will enable it. Notice that what works in one terminal might not work in another. For example, I'm now on a PuTTY window on a Linux OpenSUSE 12.3 with Bash. Using screen, its control sequence works perfectly, while VT codes and term do not. On a text mode console on an older SUSE 11, not GUI, the VT sequence works, probably screen would, too. STTY is apparently ignored.
If you can't mess with your terminal, here's a quick script I rely on heavily. This converts tabs to spaces with expand and then gives you only the first 0 to $columns characters of the text in standard import or the given files. It supports to reverse the truncation so you see the last 0 to $columns characters. How? grep o only shows matching content. The extended regex caret dot as 080 will match only the first 0 to 80 characters, while dot as 080 will only match the final 0 to 80 characters. I'm using those ranges to ensure that shorter lines still show up. Regexes are greedy, so they'll match as much as is available. You can change the width you truncate to by setting the $columns variable manually. For example, to truncate to 72 characters, use columns equals 72 trunc file. This script assumes each character displays with a width of 1. That's not true for escapes, wide characters, or zero width characters, so perhaps you want to strip NC escape sequences or use my full version of trunc, a Perl script, which uses colors to note when content was truncated and preserves colors. Their control codes are skipped when measuring the width. It also supports M for skipping content in the middle.
Create a script called nowwrap then. _command nowwrap. Suggested script.
I am surprised that even after 10 years, no one has yet mentioned that cut, from NuKuruTools, does exactly what you want. Just pipe your output to cut. Using a 55-column wide terminal window, just to show that this works. If your terminal tracks the window width, as Bash does, you can use the following to cut, at the end of the terminal's window, as per the original question.
If you want to support the channel, please consider liking and subscribing.